بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is Miss Layla Al-Jahani. Welcome again, dear students, in another lesson, inshallah. Today we will continue Unit 4, What Do I Need to Buy? Inshallah, today we will cover Lesson 4, Language in Context, okay? If we want to remember what we covered in the grammar, do you remember what did we do in the grammar part? Excellent. We talked about pronouns, something, nothing, the pronouns, and when do we use it, with which type of sentences. Also, we talked about the expressions of quantity, a little, a few, much. Excellent. These words we know when do we use it, either with countable, uncountable, or we can use it for both, okay? Also, we talked about sequence words, like first to tell the sequence of events, to tell which the order of the events happened, okay? Inshallah, by the end of our lesson today, you will be able to ask and answer questions related to different ways of cooking. So you will talk about different ways of cooking, like we will see it inshallah today. But these different ways of cooking, you will talk about it, ask questions related to it, and answer questions, okay? Now, before we start, I gave you a homework, page 112 and 113. It's a long homework, but it's related to the grammar. This is something we have to do, unfortunately. For exercise C, complete the story, use a few, a little, and a lot of. Remember, a lot of, we use it for both countable and uncountable, not like a few and a little, okay? A few, we use it with countable. A little, we use it with uncountable nouns, okay? We have this paragraph. It's about a girl named Badriya started a new diet. She started a diet, and they are telling a story about her. You have to, when you're doing this exercise, you have to look at the noun. Is it countable? Is it uncountable? And then decide which one you will use, okay? Let's see the answers together. Sorry. Yalla. Badriya started a new diet called the Fat Flush Program. This is what she told me about it. At first, I didn't understand the diet because there were a lot of rules. A lot of is used for both countable and uncountable. About 3 pages of them. For example, you have to make 1 tablespoon of oil twice a day. That's not a lot of oil, but it helps you lose weight for some reason. You need to drink a little lemon juice, about a tablespoon in water twice a day. Fruits are part of the diet. You can have a few pieces of fruit, 1, 2, or 3 pieces every day. You can eat a lot of different vegetables. In fact, you can eat all the vegetables you want, including beans, broccoli, cucumbers, onions, and 25 more. Let's continue. But you can only have a few spices. They cause problems with this diet. You need to drink a lot of water, at least 8 glasses a day. I don't know if I can do that all the time. You can't eat a lot of meat, only 225 grams once a day. But that doesn't bother me. I usually eat only a little meat anyway. There are only a few things on the diet that I never eat. Actually, just 2 things, lamb and tomatoes. And they encourage you to get a little exercise, but not too much. All in all, I think it's a good program. So this is the description of the program. We used a few and a little to and a lot of to complete this description of the program. Now let's see exercise D. What does he want you to do? Rewrite each sentence, each false sentence. So these sentences are false. He wants you to write it again about the story from C. So we have to go back to the program, the diet program. Make each one true. So we have to change it to a true statements, okay? We have to use much and many when we are completing. For example, Badriya takes a lot of oil each day. Is this true? No, this statement is false based on the exercise C. So we are looking at exercise C when we are answering this exercise, okay? She doesn't take much oil each day. So we use much because it's uncountable. Oil is uncountable. We use much with the uncountable. Many, we use it with the countable nouns. Read the sentences 1, 2, 3 and then pause the video and let's answer it together, okay? Number 1, Badriya doesn't drink much lemon juice because it's a juice, we use much in water. 2, Badriya can eat many vegetables on the diet. So vegetables is countable, we use many with it. 3, she can't use many spices. The spices are countable, so we use many with it, okay? For exercise E, write about what you eat or drink a lot of and what you don't eat or drink enough of, okay? So we are using a lot of and enough, okay? So these sentences and these answers should be about you, how you eat, the way, your diet, okay? So I eat a lot of ice cream, but I don't eat enough of yogurt. So that means you are consuming a lot of ice cream, but not enough. You should eat more yogurt, okay? What other things? This is an example. What about you? Think about your life. Think about your diet, the things you eat every day, okay? And then write it down, okay? Let's see the answers I have here. I'm sure your answers are better. Show it, share it with your friends in class, okay? Number 1, I eat a lot of meat, but I don't eat enough vegetables, okay? This is something I eat a lot, which is meat, not enough vegetables. I eat a lot of cookies, but I don't eat enough fruit. I drink a lot of soda, but I don't drink enough water, okay? So this is just to make you think about your routine, your daily diet, okay? And how you eat, consume a type of food more than the other, okay? Now let's see exercise F. Read the recipe. This is a recipe here. Write questions and answers about it. Use how much and how many. So we have the recipe, we have to use it to ask questions, okay? This recipe is about mushrooms and cheese omelette, okay? Let's ask questions. Look at it. It's a speaking exercise. When you write the questions, ask your friend and let them look at the recipe and find the answer in the recipe, okay? So here we have write questions, answers about it, how much and how many. We have you need eggs. How can we form the question? When you have eggs here, eggs is what? Eggs is countable, excellent. So we use how many. Here we have to use how much or how many to answer these questions. So automatically when we see countable, we start, how many eggs do you need? I need 3 eggs, okay? This is how you do it. This is an example. If you haven't done the exercise, this is the exercise. If you haven't done it, look at the nouns. Are they countable? Uncountable. If they are countable, we use how many. If it's uncountable, we use how much. And then complete the question and find the answer based on the recipe you have on top, okay? Pause the video and do it if you haven't done it already, okay? And let's see the answers together. Yalla, bismillah. Number 1, we have you use butter. So butter is uncountable. Automatically we use how much. How much butter do you use? Okay? You use 1 tablespoon of butter. Is this made up answer or it's based on the recipe? Yes, we look at the recipe on top and answer based on it. Number 2, we have you add salt. Salt. Countable or uncountable? Uncountable. We use how much. How much salt do you add? You add a little salt. 3, you cut up mushrooms. Mushrooms. If you're not sure, if you see a word and you don't know the meaning of it, look at the end of the word. Does it have an S? If it has an S, then probably it's countable. It's a plural form, okay? How many mushrooms do you cut up? You cut up 6 mushrooms, okay? Now let's see number 4. You cut up cheese. Cheese, is it countable or uncountable? Uncountable. So automatically, how much? How much cheese do you cut up? You cut up 4th cup of cheese. And the last one, 5, we have onions. Countable. We have the S here and we know it's countable even if we don't know the meaning of it. Question, how many onions do you use? You use a piece of 1 onion, okay? This is it for exercise F. Now let's see exercise G. Exercise G. Complete the sentences. Here he wants you to use the pronouns something, anything, and nothing. Can you remember when do we use something, when do we use anything, when do we use nothing? Can you remember? Something, when do we use something? Excellent, we use it with positive sentences. What about anything? Anything, we use it with what? 2 things. Excellent, questions and negatives. What about the last one, nothing? Nothing has similar meaning with anything, okay? So we use nothing with sentences that has a negative meaning. We use nothing, okay? We have these sentences. Let's see the answers together. Okay? For number 1, we eat a lot of food at my house. We always need something from the supermarket. So something, it's a positive sentence, it's not a negative, it's not a question, it doesn't have a negative meaning, so we use something for number 1. 2, are you hungry? Go to the kitchen. There is something in the refrigerator for you to eat, okay? 3, what a delicious lunch. But don't you have, don't, it's a negative. Don't you have anything to drink with it? Because it's a negative, we used anything. 4, I love fresh fruit. In fact, there is nothing better than a good piece of watermelon on a hot summer day. So nothing, it is a positive sentence that carries a negative meaning. 5, I'm so hungry, I haven't eaten anything all day. With the negative, we use anything. Let's see number 6. Badr, do you like pizza? Fahad, no, I don't. I don't like anything with cheese, okay? So don't, it's a negative. That's why we use anything with it. 7, I can't make this recipe for dinner. I have absolutely nothing that it calls for. Okay, here we added nothing, positive meaning with a positive sentence with a negative meaning. 8, I'm going to buy some food at the supermarket. Can I get you something too? Okay, this is for number 8, okay? If you open your books, page 42, language and context, give advice about cooking, role play with 2 other students. So you will be working in group of 3 students. You will be working with 2 other friends. You will not be alone. So create your groups, choose your friends, group of 3, okay? And you have to give an advice about cooking. Before we start, you have different pictures on your book. You have pictures of eggs, chicken, different pictures, okay? We will look at the pictures and we will talk about food. We will ask questions and we will answer these questions. Before we start, let's explain these ways of cooking. These are ways we cook food, okay? Let's see this video. We have the word fry, okay? This is oil, you can see oil, and you can see the potatoes. You fry the potatoes. This is a technique we use when we are cooking, okay? We use oil, we make it very hot to cook anything with it. Can you tell me what can you fry, things you can fry? You can fry potatoes, excellent. What other things you can fry? You can fry chicken, you can fry sambusa, you can fry lugaymat. These are things we can fry, okay? We use the frying technique. Okay, also we have steam here. Steam, what does steam mean? Look at the pot. Look at the steam coming out of the pot, okay? At the bottom, we have water, okay? So a steam, it's a technique used in cooking where you put water and you have something and you have the food on top. And it is cooked with only the steam, not boiled. We don't put it in the water. We only make it cooked with steam. Can you tell me things we can make with the steaming technique? If you are from Hijaz, then we cook mantu. Do you know mantu? So mantu is cooked. We put it and we use the steam to cook it. We don't put it on the water. Also, you can steam vegetables. You put it on the top and you use the steam to make it cooked. It's a very healthy dish to use the vegetables using the steaming technique. All the great minerals and vitamins will be kept in the vegetables if you use the steaming technique when you cook. Let's see the other one. We have grill, okay? Here they are grilling, okay? Grill is when you put the things and you grill it. You can grill it in the oven. You can grill it on a hot pan. You can put the burgers and grill it. Also, you can use the charcoal, okay? You make it really hot and you grill on it. This is a grilling technique. Inshallah, the weather is becoming better. I think you will grill more with the weather. The weather is becoming more colder. You will do a lot of barbecues outside in your yard or outside when you go with your family. So this is a great way, technique in cooking, okay? Also, we have roast. When you roast something, like here in your book, you can see also roasting chicken. They put it in a pan and put it in the oven. They depend on the oven heat to roast it, to make it crispy, to make the crust crispy, soft inside. This is one way to cook chicken with roasting, using the oven, okay? Now let's see this technique, which is baking. Baking, okay? You bake something, you put it in the oven to bake it. Baking. Can we say I bake the chicken? لا. Baking, we use it only to talk about bread. I bake bread like here, or bake a cake. So we use it for pastries more than when we talk about chicken. With chicken we say roasting, okay? Now let's see the last one, I believe, which is boiling. You boil something, you use water, you use hot water, and you put the things inside the water. This is boiling, okay? You cook it. Usually we boil pasta, we boil eggs, okay? We put it and boil it for 10 minutes. This is a way and technique in cooking, okay? Okay, now give an advice. Let's go to the exercise. Give an advice about cooking. Role play with 2 other friends, so group of 3, okay? Student A, how should I cook the chicken? Student B, why don't you roast it in the oven? C, I usually fry it, okay? Student A, I think I prefer to grill it. So they talked about ways of cooking chicken. Can you think about something else you want to talk about? And look at the techniques. Let's talk about eggs. How do you prefer to eat eggs? Talk about it. How do you prefer to cook pasta? How do you prefer to cook pizza? Okay? Let's see. I prepared 2 more examples. You should do more. You should practice more. Okay? Let's see here. How should I make the vegetables? So we're talking about vegetables. Okay? Why don't you boil them? So you put it and boil them inside the water. I usually steam them. This is student C. I usually steam them. Tell me another way of cooking food. That's what I will do. Okay? Easy, very easy. You should do and think about other things and ways of cooking these things. Another example here. What's a good way to cook eggs? So we're talking about eggs. I fry them, student B said. C, I don't like fried eggs. How about if I boil them? This is another way, okay? So talk about other things. We covered chicken, eggs, and vegetables. Talk about other things. Talk about pasta. Talk about rice. Talk about other things, cake, okay? And how do you make them, okay? So what we have done today, what we have covered, we covered the homework, okay? And we talked about different ways in cooking. Boiling, steaming, frying, these types of techniques of cooking. And we ask and answer questions, giving advice about cooking, okay? Ways of cooking. For your homework, please do page 114 on your workbook. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for listening. Inshallah, I will see you next class.